In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you how to build an inexpensive call center if you're in solar coming up. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in once again on the channel. We have another solar video, and I'm bringing the heat once again. I hope you've been enjoying the videos that I've been posting these past couple of months. And this one is actually a very requested video that I've been on a lot of calls with people recently, and they've been saying over and over again, hey man, I've enjoyed the videos that you've been posting, but I'm new to solar, I want to actually build, a call center, maybe do some of the things that your clients have been able to accomplish. And so a lot of our clients we've taken from zero to hero in a matter of months, okay? But before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to the channel and like this video if you honestly enjoy the content, and make a comment, all right? It really helps my channel, gets discovered. And if the conversation, comes up in the community, or if you have a friend of yours, for example, that's in solar, just give me a plug, man. I'd appreciate that, all right? So let's get now to the meat and potatoes, like I like to say a lot, right? So how do you actually build an inexpensive call center and build a sales organization that could make you a lot of money? But how do you start out if you're on a budget, all right? So there's a couple of things that you can do, and I'm gonna list them out on the board here. Before that, if you already have a call center and you just wanna get to the next level, I highly recommend you reach out or schedule a call down below. Maybe we can help you out. If we're not able to help you out, I give you my word, we're not gonna pressure you into anything, right? I do believe in 100% transparency, and that's one of the core values that we hold here at the agency. So if you wanna grow your sales team, if you wanna grow your solar company, right? Make sure you reach out, schedule a call down below. I'll be happy to talk to you. Maybe you'll talk to some of my guys. But we'll make sure to listen to your, what you're actually trying to achieve and give you recommendations. And honestly, if it doesn't make sense for you, we're not going to pressure you into doing anything. So schedule a call below and let's see how we can help you out. Now, getting to the video. So the way you can build a call center is you need a few things to make sure you have in line to assure that you have, you've laid a foundation, a solid foundation to building a successful call center, right? The first thing you need is cheap traffic source, okay? You need cheap traffic. Why do you need cheap traffic? Because when you have a call center, right, you need to make sure that your guys have leads to call every single day. That's one of the things that we do in our agency. When we have guys that come in, they usually have, 2 to 3 people. Some of them have 10 or 15, depending on the size of the company. But it's usually the same thing. I want to make sure my guys have leads to call every single day. I want to make sure my guys are staying busy, okay? So that's where you want to make sure that you have a cheap traffic source, okay? Buying $50 to $100 leads from questionable companies and lead vendors out there that you don't even know how many companies you're going to be able to compete with once you get on the phone with the customer. You want to make sure that you throw that idea out of the window. If you already tried that, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, cheap traffic source. What am I referring to when I say a cheap traffic source? So a cheap traffic source can be Facebook. All right? Facebook can be a very good traffic source. All right? YouTube can be a very good traffic source. The way these work, honestly, is YouTube. Usually, if you target a narrow audience, your cost per lead will usually increase. So if you want to target a specific area, right, out of a state, and it's really specific, you'll probably, your best bet will be Facebook. Okay, we do both at our agency, so it doesn't matter what your needs are. Again, we're going to recommend an adequate strategy going forward. So Facebook, YouTube, by no means do not buy leads that are shared. All right. Reason why is because that's going to cut into your margins. All right. Your margins, your profit, right? Let me get the green one for green. Your profit, right, literally goes out the window once you start sharing leads. Once you start sharing leads with other companies, that's what happened. You automatically are forced into entering a competition, a race to the bottom on price. And you don't want to be doing that, especially if you have a call center, because you have, quite a bit of people to pay, right? So one of the best ways to, sell solar at a reasonable rate where you're making a good profit is making sure that you're sourcing, or you have a source of exclusive leads that are coming your way, and that is every single day like clockwork, right? So again, do not buy shared leads. Do not buy shared leads, because honestly, that's gonna ruin the whole idea of you having a call center and making good margins on it. So the second thing you want to make sure is that you want to make sure that you have somebody, all right, to call these people. If you're a one-man show and you're trying to build a call, you can still do it. But even if I was starting out all over again and I was to want to start my call center, I would probably hire somebody. I would train them, right, on how to pick up the phone and dial and get me appointments scheduled. Okay, because if you're very good at closing, you should preserve that energy of yours and make sure that you put it towards closing as opposed to setting appointments. Setting appointments are very important. It's a very important job, but you want to make sure that you allocate somebody for that job that can help you out, preserve some of the time and energy that you have to actually close the deal. So make sure you find somebody, okay, find a rep. Make sure you have somebody that will be able to call the leads. And the next question obviously is, where do you find that someone, right? So again, if you're starting out and you're on the budget, one of the best things you can do is go to Indeed, and honestly, you could just post an ad. Obviously, the ad needs to be enticing, because that way you're selling. With a job offer, right? What you're doing is you're selling people on why obviously they should join you into something that is lucrative, right? Something that's going to make them a lot of money. So usually, if you're starting out and you're on the budget, what I would recommend is that you pay them either a minimum wage, or you give them a good profit. You give them a good percentage of the profit when you close a deal. Okay, it's a little bit tough to get good people on board if you're just offering them a cut of the pay, but it's not impossible. We found we've filled a lot of spots for clients of ours that we've had in the past doing it that way, okay? And some people would honestly prefer it. Some people that are, you would find that a lot of people that are, more, go-getters, that take the initiative, that aren't afraid of commission, pay, they are actually the ones that'll be able to produce for you the most, as opposed to people that are just, they're kind of like okay with the fact that they're gonna get $300 a week and that, so on and so forth. But the fact of the matter is that it's not impossible to find good people that are ready to go, that are ready to do the job, and they're not expecting any pay. You only pay them when you close, right? So find a rep, number 2. Number 3 is you want to make sure that you have, again, a good installer, okay? Good installer. Or an EPC. I made a video about this. You could check it out. It will pop up right up there. Exactly what to look for when you look for an EPC or an installer, right? Because there's a lot of companies out there though that will blatantly rip you off without batting an eye, right? As I like to call it. without, honestly, with, companies with very low integrity, companies that don't care about long-term business, and these companies would have no issue, right, telling you one thing and doing something completely different. Okay, you would expect you start, you close a few sales, you'd be happy with the initial red line that they give you, just to find out a few weeks later that red line was not the true red line. You've actually had a lot of hidden adders that were then added to the deal, which significantly reduced your profit margin. So again, go back to the video I just pointed out. It's 2 or 3 videos ago from this one, and just watch it all the way throughout. I've actually linked some of the best installers that I know down in the description box. Not this one, the video that I'm referring to. So again, let's recap, and let's see if I've missed anything, but let's recap. How do you actually build an inexpensive call center if you're just starting out, okay? So you find a cheap traffic source. We could already do that for you, right? You could come to us again. Feel free to schedule a call. We'll find out what your needs are, and if we can help you out, we'll let you know. Find a cheap traffic source. Most of the time that will be YouTube and Facebook, all right? And you run an offer, right? The way we do it, I forgot to mention that, but you run an offer, right? And you entice people to basically, go through the process of going to the landing page, through the funnel, right? And making sure that they follow every single step of the process, because it is a process, right? You have an ad, you have a funnel, you have a phone call, and then you have the actual appointment, right? Every single step of that process is designed to get the individual, the lead, the homeowner, right, one step further, right? You're not supposed to sell the system from the ad. You're not supposed to sell the system when somebody gets to the page, right? What you're supposed to do from the ad is get people to click. What you're supposed to do when you get people to the landing page is get people to, fill out their information and actually, be looking out for a phone call from your company. And when you get to the phone call, again, you're not supposed to sell the system. You're supposed to sell them the appointment and why they should show up. And at the appointment is where you actually sell the system. All right. So again, making sure that you have cheap traffic. Do not buy leads. If you're already doing this and you're successful, that's okay. Disregard what I just said. Okay. But most often than not is if you're buying shared leads, what I've seen in my experience is that most companies are just, they're doing very low numbers, in comparison to what they could do if the leads were exclusive. All right, so my recommendation to you as a friend is don't buy shared leads. All right, number 2 is find a rep. You can do that on Indeed. And there's plenty of people that are going to be, searching for a position, for a job, right? And you could get them even if you don't pay them anything. They don't have to be a 1099. They could start on a commission pay only. I've had employees like that in the past that worked out tremendously well, and I highly recommend you try it out as well. All right, so go in Indeed, all the sites where you can post, job offers, right, and have an enticing copy, right, that gets people's attention. One way you can go about doing that is see what's out there, right? Go through job offers, see what the market has to offer, right? And I'm not saying you should copy and paste what other people have done, but you can definitely take inspiration from, job offers that, for example, would entice you, for example, to take action if you found yourself in somebody else's shoes that you're looking for. In that case, a potential rep. And the third thing is, which I've already covered in other videos, is making sure, this is just solidifying the entire process and making sure that if you're doing your end of the deal, you're actually gonna get paid. Okay, because if you don't have a solid installer, right? If you don't have a solid EPC, what that means most of the time is that you're not gonna get paid, or at least not gonna get paid on time. You're gonna have a very significant cut off the actual profit margins that you're expecting. That's gonna be way lower than you thought, and you're gonna probably have an unhappy customer base that's gonna ruin the business, essentially, right? Anyway, guys, this was kind of like the short versions of how do you go about building a call center, right? I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm gonna go into a little bit more detail in another video as to how you do that literally step by step. But this is pretty much what you need to start your own call center on the budget, right? You don't need more than $4,000 to $5,000 to start this, all right? Very, very inexpensive. And the good thing about this is that the upside is huge, right? It's honestly, it's insane. The amount of money that you can make in solar right now, I don't know how long that's gonna be around, but I believe in the next 1 to 3 years, solar is gonna continue to be the way it is right now, which is a very lucrative, good industry. And, get in there while it's still not regulated, and you can make good money in solar. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the content of this video. If you did, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, make a comment, all right? Let me know how I'm doing, okay? Let me know what videos you wanna see next, right? And I appreciate every single one of you that are watching this video, that you've taken time out of your busy day to watch this. And again, I hope this was of help to you. Don't forget to download the Solar Sales Black Book in the description box. Honestly, this is probably one of the best ways to get into solar sales if you're brand new to this. So don't forget to, just check it out. Link in the description box. And again, until the next video, stay well. See you soon.